Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the W.O.W. Dreams and Visions, part 6 now. And continuing on, I'm basically following up on part 5 with the first vision that I had. And in this part, I'm going to be discussing the second vision that I had. And this message is very important because there are a lot of people out there who are having, dreams and visions, such as how I am. And I wanted to share this second vision because it was very biblical. It was very encouraging. Now, it wasn't as strong as my second vision was, but at the same time, it was basically I was on a mission like I was in the first vision. So I wanted to discuss that, and I also wanted to bring up some other topics that's been happening within the last couple of weeks, which is very important as well. Now, I believe that it's very important to, share our testimonies, whatever it is that the Lord is doing wonderful in our lives. It's very important that we share them with other people, for people who are non-believers, for people who are truth seekers, and for people who are trying to get closer to the Lord. I believe that whatever testimonies or whatever the Lord tries to show us, that it's very important that we share His blessings with the people. Now, before I get into the second vision, I wanted to discuss a couple things. Basically, I've been having some very strong spiritual moments. Also, I wanted to discuss my journey so far within the last few months and how that's been going, and certain things that I've been basically letting go of, and basically just trying to uplift my spirit morally, and basically just getting more closer to the Lord. And now, before I begin, let's pray. Father Yahweh, thank you for having me here again, and hopefully my message will reach the masses for people who are having dreams and visions, and hopefully that I can share my testimonies, and hopefully that whatever it is that you're showing me, Lord, that it's very important, very crucial in my walk with you, Lord, as well as goes for other people who are having dreams and visions. In the Father Yahweh and Yeshua, amen. Okay. Now, the last couple of weeks, I've been having some interesting spiritual moments prior to these past couple of visions that I've been having. And ironically, I noticed that I've been having a lot of spiritual moments, to whereas it's like, and it mostly occurs at nighttime. This is around the same time when I'm in bed, and I start to hear these bells ringing in my ears, like this buzzing sound. Now, when it first occurred, I really didn't understand it, because it was just kind of weird. I was like, why do I hear bells in my ears? Why is it ringing? Like, can someone else hear them, or is it, what is this all about? Now, I didn't understand it basically, and it just kept occurring. And the first time it happened, I was sleeping, and it was during the morning time, and this is like around, I would say, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in one sense. This is around the same time I had my second vision, which I will share momentarily. And what was happening was I was awake in my bed for literally 2 hours, and I couldn't sleep because I had this ringing sensation in my ears. And like I said, it was like buzzing. It was like it was really high pitched that time. Even when I tried to cover up my ears, the ringing and the bells would grow louder. And there was a couple times where my body would shudder, like it would kind of like rumble like an earthquake. And it was very scary at one point, because it's like my body just started shaking, like it was like shaking very violently for some reason. And at the same time, I was having this ringing and this this buzzing in my ears. And this happened for 2 hours. Now, for the rumbling part with me, my body shaking, this happened like maybe a few times within the 2 hours. And within the last couple of weeks, these instances occurred like I would say 4 times now already. Sometimes worse than others. Sometimes it was minor, and sometimes it wasn't. Now, as this was happening, I felt as though the Lord was trying to speak to me, or He was doing something spiritual. But at the same time, when this was happening, I was so astonished. Like it was as almost I was calling out His name telepathically in my head, like saying Yahweh, 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 and I was just saying it over and over, and I was just increasing it. And I think I was trying too hard for Him to speak to me, or I was trying too hard to receive any blessings that He was trying to do to me or whatever at that moment. And I lost connection, and then the ringings went away, the bells went away, and it would stop. That was one time. After the second time, that was the second time after the first time, when I was up for 2 hours, dealing with this ringing in my hair and my body shaking. Now, the third time, it was basically I was talking with someone about this particular subject, and ironically, as I was discussing it with this person via text and stuff like that, that's when it started happening again. I started hearing like these loud bells in my ears, and ringing, and it happened for like I would say like a half an hour or so, and I was trying to come to terms with it, but it still went away again. And for the fourth time, I awoke right away. Like I took a nap, and this is around nighttime. I woke right away, and I could hear like these loud bells in my ears. And when I woke up, my body started shaking violently, and it was really weird though. And like and the bells wouldn't stop for like a whole hour until I went to bed again, and that was it for that. Now, there was an instance during one of those times when this was happening, when my body was shaking. I think it was the first time when I was up for 2 hours. There was times like where I would be laying on my side, and I can just actually feel myself, like it was as if I was leaving my body, like I was laying on my side, and I was trying to remain calm. I was trying to get these ringing to stop, because whatever the Lord was trying to do to me spiritually, I was so afraid. Like I was basically telling the Lord, like, stop, like, Lord, this is scaring me. Like, what are you doing to me, Lord? Like, even when I was covering my ears trying to, renounce it, the bells in my ear would get louder, and my body would shake more violently. And I just paused for a minute, and I kind of stopped breathing, and I was laying on my side, and it was as almost I could feel my spirit just astral projecting out of my body, because it was like I was laying on my right side. I stopped breathing suddenly. I was breathing slowly, but it was like really faint, and I could look at myself. I could see the back of myself, and I was like, it was as though I was like leaving my body. That's how scary it was. It was like something was pulling me out of my body. And I was laying on my side too, and it was like nothing mattered. Like I couldn't move. I couldn't even move a muscle. It was like, and my eyes were shut when this was happening too. My eyes were shut, but my spirit was looking at the back of my head and my back and stuff like that, and I was almost astral projecting out of my body. That's how scary it was. And I was basically, it was as almost I was focusing, like, okay, Lord's trying to show me something, let me see what He's trying to show me. So I was focusing more and more, and I just remained silent, and that's when my body started to astral project. But then I got scared, and I went back into my body. It was as though my spirit just went back into my flesh, my physical form, and I released myself, and I was still having the ringings in my ear. And this happened. It kept on happening until I fell asleep again. So those were the spiritual things that have been happening, people, and it's been very astonishing. It was scary at times, but it was amazing in one sense, because it was like the Lord was trying to do something spiritual. And it's gotten to the point to whereas now I can actually, when I focus really hard, I can actually hear like the buzzing and the bells in my ears in the background, but it's not as strong as though, but I notice when I focus more, I can hear it. Now getting to what happened was, in my second vision, I was going to my former church in Trinity Church in Miami, where the Pastor Rich Wilkerson Jr. Preaches. Now, he is someone who's an upcoming mega preacher. He's the same person who married Kim Kardashian West, and he has a lot of affiliations with other mega preachers such as Joyce Myers. Joyce Myers came to our church one day and funded a huge festivity, and she was there as well. All the pagan preachers and pastors and stuff, and I was shocked that he would actually marry Kim Kardashian West, because Kanye West is a sorcerer, and Kim Kardashian has a Jezebel spirit, in her, and she slept with so many men just to get into the industry, and he married the both of them. So basically, that just told me that he just completely sold out, to whatever affiliations that, have him, and he's just basically doing whatever he can to get to mega preacher status. But getting back to the vision, I was walking into the church, and then I saw him, and I greeted him, and we hugged. It was as though he hasn't seen me, because he hasn't seen me in months, and the vision was very real. And like I said, I was there on a mission. When I saw him, I told him I needed to speak to him. It was very important. So he said, "Okay, fine." And we both walked together, and we went into this miniature library, and we both sat down. And as we sat down, I just got into basically telling him about how Christianity is all paganism, and that he's knowingly preaching lies, and that he knows the truth, and he's leading a lot of his church members into the lake of fire, and that he needs to stop because the Lord's wrath is on him and stuff. And as I was doing this, there was something watching us between the bookshelves, and it was really ironic. It was as I was speaking to Pastor Rich, about what's to come and that what he needs to stop doing. I was basically trying to help him, trying to warn him that there's something coming for him if he doesn't stop doing what he's doing. And as I was doing, there was something watching us as I would speak. And the crazy part about it, as that something was watching us, I could see through that something's eyes, actually watching myself speak to the pastor. Like I could see myself speaking to the pastor. So I was seeing through my vision, speaking to the pastor, and I was seeing through this other entity's vision. I don't know if it was Yahweh Shai or anything like that, but it was really weird. But the pastor, he didn't want to receive the word. He left out of anger and told me that I was crazy, and he didn't want to hear it, basically, and he walked out of the room. And I just sat there, I felt as though, I came here on a mission, even though I had failed. I kind of didn't, because I gave the word and he didn't receive it, but I was still doing the Lord's work, which was more important. But I felt something was watching me, so I looked over my shoulder, and I could see whatever was watching me just basically disappeared. It just vanished. And like I said, I could see through my eyes, talking to the pastor and everything, and I can see through the entity's eyes, whatever was watching us, I can see through that thing's eyes as well, and it was really weird. And then I woke up from that vision, and with those two visions, with me going to a church and giving the word to a mega preacher, and then the vision in part one, I was discussing about me helping children and me being in this heavenly palace in this gigantic pool and crystal clear sky blue chlorine water. It was just really crazy, people. And I just want to share these visions, and that's basically just confirmation from the Lord that he wants to use me for a higher purpose, and that he has plans for my life. And it's just amazing, people. Thank you.